This is Kevin A. Kierstead from Truth on Tap. It's K-Tap, and you are listening to Debbie Daly on The Debbie Daly Show.
Shut up. We've had enough of that. Okay. Lunatic friend, we know you're out there. We know the whole story. I am in such a mood to bitch right now about stuff. But first of all, the first thing I want to get off my mind, I guess you could say, is just for a minute I want to talk about Spreaker drama. And the only reason why I want to talk about Spreaker drama is there's four new things that have come up. Two I've been sworn not to talk about. And two of them I haven't. So the first one I want to talk about is Joe Seeker. The fat bastard, as we call him, Joe Seeker. Joe Seeker claims that he never bullied Kevin Kierstead to suicide. He claims this, he claims that. Well, guess what, Joe? I got a hold of his sister today, and she's going to be coming on my show tomorrow night. Huh? How about that? We'll just see how much people believe you after that. And I have a little piece of audio to show you guys. Y'all want to hear Mr. Joe Seeker in action making a physical threat to somebody? Let's listen. I just clicked it to play. Hold on, there we go. Okay. Opening. I think. Hold on. Wait a minute. Just hold on. I should have checked it before I clicked it to play. Here we go. I think.
you keep running your mouth, right? You keep running your mouth, Kurt, and the grieving period for your father will be over, right? So if you think you're funny, Kurt, you keep throwing Debbie snowballs, right? You keep it up. You keep it up, and I can guarantee you, Kurt, you'll regret the day. You'll regret it. The day you thought that you could outsmart me in a mind game. Because between the two of us, I'm not the one who's been online for fucking 6 months saying the full name of every family member. Right? So, I'll tell you what I do to bugs. I drive them into the mud.
Well, 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 what have we here? Sounds like a death threat to me. I drive them in the mud, which means the dirt, which means the soil, which means to be dead, right? There's no other way it could mean anything else but that. So that's our first little lesson today. Let's hear that again. Let's hear what Mr. Joe Seeker said just 24 hours ago on his sweet little podcast.
Kurt, you keep running your mouth, right? You keep running your mouth, Kurt, and the grieving period for your father will be over, right? So if you think you're funny, Kurt, you keep throwing Debbie snowballs, right? You keep it up. You keep it up, and I can guarantee you, Kurt, you'll regret the day. You'll regret it. The day you thought that you could outsmart me in a mind game. Because between the two of us, I'm not the one who's been online for fucking 6 months saying the full name of every family member. Right? So, I'll tell you what I do to bugs. I drive them into the mud.
There's your innocent Joe Seeker not threatening somebody else to drive them. Let's think about what he said. You drive somebody to suicide, right? That's what people do. Evil people do, right? And he says what he does to bugs, which we know that Curtis's name is green bug, black trout. He says he drives them into the mud. So there's your answer. There's your proof. What more do you need? There you go. Why would I lie about something like that? Why would I lie and say that Joe Seeker drove Kevin Kierstead, who is right here? You can hear Kevin, an absolute sweetheart. Go ahead, Kevin.
This is Kevin A. Kierstead from Truth on Tap. It's K-Tap, and you are listening to Debbie Daly on the Debbie Daly Show.
Thank you, Kevin. And what I want to talk about, number one, I'm not going to defend myself against an asshole like Joe Seeker. But I will feel sorry for the new minions that he has over there that are following him and listening to every word he says. When I first started podcasting back in the year 2011, I did it for a short while on 2010. In 2011, I came back. I quit and came back and quit and came back. When I first started podcasting, I was getting trolled hard by a very hard troll group. And they would go over to YouTube. Most of them were Goose, all right? Now, Goose has since made amends, and we've talked about it. We've met in person and everything, so that's okay, but I'm just going to go back to that time in my life. Goose first started coming on my show. There was a girl after me named Moxie. I first heard of Moxie when somebody called me on my show and said, "Debbie, somebody's on Vince in the Bay pretending to be you." And I said, "What do you mean pretending to be me?" "Pretending to be you." And I said, "Who?" "I don't know." So I ran over there real quick, and it was a girl named Moxie. Moxie, for some reason, got obsessed with me. Absolutely batshit obsessed with me. Now, later on in my term on podcasting, a guy called me named Luke Ford. Luke Ford said, "I couldn't help but listen to your podcast the other night, and I understand that you're being harassed by a woman named Moxie." I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, her real name is Tara." I said, "Okay." And he said, "She has done this before." I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yes, in real life, she's been thrown out of actual groups for targeting a female. I said, well, she's got me in her crosshairs. Moxie became a member of the group that was terrorizing me, right? And the terror, whatever you want to call it, the terror, I guess you could say, got 10 times worse. Because she would go on there and she would just say the most horrible things about me. And you can convince anybody to hate anybody if you're mean enough. You can make fun of them. You can say lies about them. What I do when I come on here and I fight these people back is I don't lie. I either come with hard evidence or I don't do it at all. I just let it go by the wayside. Now, what these people do, what Bathtub Girl did for many, many years, is she would go back and she would replay all of these old spliced up videos that Goose did about me, which were just kind of stupid. And Goose will come on the air with me right now anytime and say, yes, they were dumb. They were stupid. They were meant to be dumb. They were meant to be stupid. They weren't meant to be taken seriously. But what Joe Seeker's doing is exactly what Bathtub Girl did. He is playing these to these idiots in the chat room, his little minions, which are Darren, Adam, Jeff the Gray, everybody from Monster Castle Paranormal, which I told you guys. I tried to tell you. What did I tell you? What have I ever done against Monster Castle Paranormal? I'll wait. Nothing. Right? But Monster Castle Paranormal, all the people involved in that hate my freaking guts. Now, let's think about that for a second. Isn't that interesting that I knew, because I told y'all I'm very intuitive when it comes to this kind of bullshit. I told y'all those guys were going to be trouble. And the main one is Darren. And I have people that are involved in their chat room right now. I have 2 people that are involved in their chat room that are feeding me everything behind the scenes. I will never tell you who it is, ever. I'll never even tell anybody who it is. I wouldn't tell Vic who it is, especially Vic. But what I'm trying to say is, I tried to tell you guys who the trouble was in that room. And if you don't think he's trouble, did you hear what he did to Kurt? To Wolfman? I made a GoFundMe for Wolfman not long after his wife, girlfriend, whatever lived in, died, right? Because I felt bad for Mike. I knew that Mike was going to feel bad because I had heard his recent podcasting, and he was being not mean to Sandra, but just sort of whatever. I just knew that there was a couple of reasons that I thought he was going to feel guilty. And I hate when people feel guilty. I think it's horrible. I don't believe in feeling guilty about anything. I believe if you've done something wrong, you step up to the plate, you make your apologies, and that's it. You're done with it, okay? But when people don't apologize or don't own up to what they do, then they have a problem. And I know a lot of people who have done a lot of things who have never owned up to what they've done. Well, in 2012, I started getting calls from a person by the name of Bathtub Girl. And she was something else. She turned out to be absolutely batshit crazy. I mean, I'm not joking either. I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. I'm not the kind of person to make those allegations. She actually is crazy. She gets a check every month because she's crazy. You know what I'm saying? This woman had gone so far in her real life to apply for disability by saying that her father had molested her and all this kind of garbage. And they gave it to her, and her father's family ended up disowning her, period, permanently. She, has all these problems in her life. She never leaves the house. She's housebound. She's got one child that's severe special needs and another one that is a transgender. And it's just a mess from 2 different fathers who never even asked her out on a second date, practically. And she turned all of this self-hate to me. Because that's what these people do. These people usually pick out a nice person like me, right? I was always kind to her on the show. I was always pleasant with her on the show. I was always nice. They actually pick out a kind person to dump their stuff on. In fact, she named me the dumpster, okay? And this went on for years. It's still going on. She's just gotten quiet because I've actually come forward and told everybody she's batshit fucking crazy, which she is. To show you the levels that this crazy bitch would stoop to, she would do, what was her name on YouTube? It was something like Veritas. She always said, my name is the truth. I'm the truth. Because she was lying. Think about that. I mean, think about somebody that calls himself the truth, okay? And it was like living through a nightmare with this crazy bitch. She never would shut up about me. Now, there's a reason I'm telling you this. Stay with me, all right? There's a reason I'm telling you this. The reason I'm telling you this is because this is exactly what you're seeing with Seeker right now. Seeker has slipped into what I call the bathtub girl syndrome, okay? He's now getting a captured audience in his room, and he's playing all of these old clips back when I'm talking about, he's playing clips when I had Zeki on my show. And he's going, see, she's crazy. Well, let me tell you something. If you people were doing a show regularly like I was, and you were getting trolled, yeah, I know half of you would go really upset. And I only got upset on about 2 or 3 shows because I had the right to be. Well, sorry, I'm laughing at some of these things. And what this crazy bitch did was she would actually she would get people in her chat room and she would say, y'all just won't believe what the dumpster has done to me, right? And she would play these old clips over and over again. One about Moxie. I was trolling Moxie one time, and it was funny because I said Victor had her followed and all this kind of crazy stuff. And she just bought into it. She goes, listen to her. She's actually stalking Moxie. Sweet little Moxie. Here we go. Here's one. Okay, here's what happened. Her real life best friend contacted me. I'm not kidding. Her name was India Baker. Contacts me through Skype. No, excuse me, through Facebook. And says, by the way, are you by any chance the same Debbie Daly that is stalked by a person named Angela Utley? I said, who is this? And I asked her to please verify who she was. So she did. She went on webcam. She showed me who she was. We talked and talked and talked. But let me tell you something. Some of the things that this person told me were absolutely off the chain. Absolutely off the chain. And I was in shock with what she was telling me. Absolutely in shock. I was going, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Well, she said that she wanted to come on my show, so I said, fine. So I hooked her up on my show, and she came on, and she started telling her truths about how this woman was doing things in real life that you wouldn't believe. And I actually still have in my possession the transcript of our discussion that we had about this. Now, stay with me. There's a reason I'm telling you about this. And so here we are with this crazy bitch going on the air every night telling people all these crazy things, doing everything she can to solicitate hate. Now, I've told y'all before that people that solicitate hate are really, really messed up people. And what that is people, what I'm doing is I'm defending. This is all in defense. I'm not soliciting anything. I don't care who you hang out with. But some of these people were so fucked up that they would go and they would actually try to get people to hate me. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It sounds completely crazy. So she goes on the air and she does a show that it looks like it's called Dumpster and India. Let me introduce you. I don't know what this is. I want to show y'all this. Take a listen. If it plays. I don't know. Here she goes. If it'll play, I don't know.
Put it in the credits. And since she uses the name on her show as the same name as our blog, I'll be happy to direct you to her open letter to this missionary boarding school. Now, I've known this dumpster for quite some time.
Now, what she does is to get back at India for coming to me, she exposes all of the secrets that she knows about India, which tells you very simply that she's butthurt. She's been had, she's been found out, and she's mad. If not, she would have addressed it, but she doesn't. She plays a real calculated type of warfare, which is really snide and bad and horrible. Let me show you what she did to this girl.
Maybe this is more of a reflection on me than it is her. that somehow I have these people in my life, and they're very charming, very sweet, very compliant. I mean, Debbie was like that in the beginning. They're all charming. All dumpsters are charming in the beginning. But do not let them fool you. Now, one thing in common with these two dumpsters is that the people that have been in their life for an extended amount of time would call them liars. Don't trust her. She'll turn on you. She was kicked out of a building. She was kicked out of many homeschool groups. That's what I heard about India Dumpster, but no, I was willing to believe the best about a person. I'm starting to think it's my downfall. I mean, I believe that as well. I believe the best about her. And I honestly am praying for Debbie because I think the coming few days are going to be difficult at best. You know, Goofy Bone is doing a show right now. He's playing a lot of audio. I don't have to worry about Debbie Dumpster. You know, the truth is known. But now I see this one rearing her ugly head. And she is part of the texting conspiracy. She is one of the ones that, I don't know if Debbie contacted her or she contacted Debbie. Well, nevertheless, they found each other, however it happened. It doesn't matter. And India knows the history of Debbie Daly. All the problems I've had with this woman. How she called my daughter. How she's done this and that. And, you know, done horrible things to me on the internet. She knows this woman. Yet she entertained her for a week that I know of. And because these women are both liars, it's kind of hard to know what is true and what is not. That is a hallmark of a dumpster. They lie. They misrepresent the truth. And you'll have a lot of people coming to you saying very negative things about this person. You know, usually from many sources. You know, one or two I can understand, you know, that they're bitter, that they're hurting.
Okay, this crazy bitch got proven, shown, everything that she was absolutely fucking insane. It's the only way to look at it. She was insane. And it all came out. It all came out in the wash. Let's try another one here. What is this one? Dumpster tactics. I want to show you what this bitch did, and then I'm going to show you why I'm showing you this.
Welcome to the second edition of Dumpster Tactics. This is an online program to help the listener, the future host of Spreaker.com and other platforms where you'll find internet radio, podcasts, that nature. This is informative and educational because you may run across what is known as a dumpster. Now, dumpsters appear in many forms, male or female, short, from the south, from the north, from Iceland, from Denmark. They can come from anywhere. And they usually appear very charming. Do not believe the lie. Do not believe the lie. It's not worth it. Hold on. I'm doing a kind of protest. I'm broadcasting from my tub. You don't have to know if I'm actually dressed or not. But I am in the tub. I will say that. And this is kind of rough on me. It's 3 hours a night usually. So let's get back to our program. I'm going to stay topic focused. If you have been a victim of a dumpster, a cyberbully, it's another word for cyberbully in my world. I call them dumpsters because all the toxic fumes, the toxic people, the people that love drama, they were all gathering around the dumpster. Sometimes they create a fire in the dumpster. They actually light a fire underneath the dumpster's feet. And the whole thing catches a fire. And they're like, this can't be true. And they never check out their facts. You know, it's just, they're not the brightest people when it comes to that because they go obviously straight to emotion. Straight to emotion. You'll find a number of dumpsters on Spreaker at this time. Hopefully after March 1st, they will be banned from this site. So it's my hope, my prayer, that with this series, and I'll be discussing some examples of dumpster behavior, that you'll be able to identify it nip it in the bud, do not pay attention to it, and directly report it to the legal department of said place, be it Blog Talk, TalkShoe, Shoutcast, just whatever platform you may find the dumpster attacking you. Again, this can be male or female. So why don't we go ahead and start with discussing the female dumpster. We're going to discuss the female dumpster tonight in all seriousness. We're going to talk about the female narcissist. A lot of times you will find people that are dumpsters that will have mental afflictions. Maybe they'll have histrionic personality disorder that comes from the family.
Okay, here's what I want to tell y'all. Here is the constant repeating pattern that I see with these people. People with mental diseases, and you become friends with them, all right? If at any time they detect that you are not their friend anymore, you're dead in the water. They will do everything they can, and I've got specialist doctors that will back me up on this because I have done my homework. People with mental disorders like Dr. Herpington, Angela Utley, Joe Brown, Todd Morris, Goofy Bone, as long as you stay friendly with those people, you're fine. But once a person that is mentally ill detects that you're not their friend again, you better look out because they're going to make your life a freaking disaster area. They're going to set out to ruin your life is what they're going to do. And I have had this happen so many times. And so I know now that it's true. It's absolutely true with what I'm saying. These people are fucked up. They're bad people is what I'm saying. So I'll tell you guys about this person that was named India Baker. I think her last name was Baker. I'm not sure. And she came on to my Facebook and began to tell me, you have no idea what you're dealing with. This woman is absolutely venomous. And he said, she is more obsessed with you in real life than she is online. This is how I knew that this woman had serious issues. She said that she was a very severe drug addict and alcoholic, and that she wanted many times to she would have India come over and keep her kids in the middle of the night so that she could go to a hospital emergency room to get more medicine or, pills, whatever. She was very, very hooked on all kinds of things. And because of this, she'd also been known to do bad. I just feel horrible saying these things to people because I don't want to be the kind of person that rats people out. But trust me when I say this woman is not good in real life. All right, we'll put it that way. So it led me to believe that she had mental disorders. So I did some research, and sure enough, she's got some severe mental disorders, right? And there was a night on my show when I was on Blog Talk Radio that she began to call in. Now, she tells everybody that she co-hosted a show with me, which could be no further from the truth. Further from the truth. That never happened. But what they do is she comes on and she tries to just, anyway, it's just somebody with mental freaking disorders, believe me. All right? I encountered her. And she went on an absolute insane tangent about me for years. And they never give up. They never stop because they don't have that filter in their brains. They don't know how to stop. Another one that came after me, his name was Dr. Herpington. Dr. Herpington put out hold on just 1 second. Let me look at this up. So I want to come with the absolute evidence. Okay, here we go. Dr. Herpington became my friend in the year 2011 because he talked to me and he said, hey, I don't have any friends. I can't leave the house and I can't work. At the time, I had a lot of money, and I said, well, maybe you could work for me. And I asked him if he wanted to start doing my blog for me, writing my blog. He said, no problem. And he wrote a couple of blog posts that I didn't really like, but I posted them anyway. And then he wrote some pretty rotten ones. And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do that anyway. And I said, I'll pay you for them anyway, even though I'm not going to post them because it was really not good writing. And it was something that I didn't want to have on my post. It was all about trolls and all this really stupid stuff. Well, he set out what they call a dossier on me. He went and put out a dossier. And the only reason I knew about it is because a really good popular troll came to me on my show and said, you need to know what's going on behind your back. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he said, somebody named Dr. Herpington, he said, he talks with a British accent, came into the IRC chat of Anonymous today and put out a dossier on you, wanting and directing everybody for life ruination. I said, life ruination? What? What does that even mean? And it says the following. This cunt must be silenced. Deborah Montoya. Debbie fucking Daly. Any means that you deem appropriate will do. Her landline is 972-226-5998. Now, none of this is true because it's all a long time ago. Her cell phone is 773-6369. The provider is Southwestern Bell. Her daughter's cell phone is blank. Her address is blank, blank, blank. Sunray Lane, blah, 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 blah. Her address at work is 230 South Riverfront, blah, 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 blah. Associated web pages are Blog Talk Radio /Debbie, Twitter.com /Debbie, Formspring Debbie, Facebook Debbie, DebbieDaily.com, KTRL.com, Debbie'sBlogspot.com, blah, 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 MySpace.com, blah, blah, blah. Her Skype name is Debbie Daily, possibly another account needs looking into. Her PayPal is DebbieM99@AOL.com. The password to that is this. The emails that she uses are blank, 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 blank. Here's all her old passwords, and he lists all these old passwords. Here's her Blog Talk Radio number. Just press Skype next to it to go into Skype. Additional information. Debbie is a compulsive liar and quite possibly a paranoid schizophrenic. Anyone who can think for themselves. Now, let me tell you something. I didn't finish telling you what pissed this crazy guy off. So I got up to owing the kid $50. This is true. I can back all this up. On the weekend that Anonymous hacked into PayPal and shut PayPal down, I sent him a text message through Skype. Hey, Doc, I'm not going to be able to pay you because PayPal's down. Well, that's all he had to hear. And he went batshit crazy. And so what I'm trying to show you guys is that when you are in a relationship with a person that has mental disorders, everything's fine until you piss them off. And then when you piss them off, it's Katie bar the door. It's every third man to the south wall. It's, oh my God, it is Armageddon, okay? Anyone who can think for themselves and listens for one entire show will completely agree with this diagnosis. All regular listeners agree that her mental state has been degrading steadily for the past few months. Her husband, Vic, seems to have only got her to do this show to distract her. Their marriage is failing miserably. Her son is semi-retarded, and she describes her daughter, Heather, as a major bitch. Her dad is a dead Marine, and she says her mom beat her as a child. Let's just click off the lies. Clearly, her family is a point of weakness. There is a slight possibility that she is trying to emulate a woman name, and I don't even know who that is. Somebody, Green Sky, something.com. Systematically, here is the generalized plan of attack. Systematically take down every one of her sites, saving her Blog Talk Radio show for last. Imagine her horror as her empire crumbles before her eyes. Ruination of her real life using the ruination links to follow. Number 1, 404 of her show. The distraction of her podcast gone, coupled with the stress of the ruination and the 404 itself will cause her marriage. Okay, now a lot of you are just going to think, Debbie, that's funny. It's all bullshit. No. This fuck was serious. All right? And I can back all this up. All right? It got so bad with this crazy son of a bitch that we contacted the kid's father. All right? And we told him, we said, hey, look, Victor did. Victor called him and he said, hey, look, man, you got to know what this your son is doing. And the first question he said is, do you know somebody that goes by the moniker of Dr. Herpington? He goes, yes, my son does. So we knew we had the right person. He said he was sorry. He was very sorry about everything that had happened. And he says, I am praying and hoping that things get better for you. I am also praying and hoping that Ben will remove everything that you brought up yesterday in your email. I am hoping that you can reach deep into your Christianity to forgive my son of his horrible transgressions. I know that I am asking a lot, but you do seem like a very nice person that has been severely wronged and yet shares my faith. I guess it doesn't hurt to ask and then pray to our God can heal the deep hurt that you have endured. Again, Debbie, thank you for reaching out to me and caring about sending this video clip. I thought it was very thoughtful. Warm regards, and then it was his dad. Okay? I'm trying to sort of paint a picture here. This guy took this guy to a psychiatrist. He drove 7 hours, took him into the psychiatrist's office, and the psychiatrist said, why do you hate this woman? He goes, I don't know. He goes, what do you mean you don't know? And he goes, I don't know. I just do. He goes, well, what did she do to you? Nothing. And I found out later, because if you wait long enough, a lot of things come out in the wash. I found out later that he had severe mental issues. He was so bad that the BWC threw him out of the BWC. He was so severely special needs, we'll say, in a PC world. But where I used to be, they would say this guy was extremely retarded, okay? And having said that, they don't know how to control their emotions a lot of times, and not being able to control their emotions will lead to. Hey, what are you doing back over here?
Philip sent me over here. I'm making a big dinner, and all of our shit's packed.
Okay, hold on just a second, guys. Okay.
Well,
What time is it going to be ready?
okay. Do you have plastic plates and stuff?
I don't know. Just take whatever you need, and I'll get it from you. Just take whatever
I'm
you
just
need.
thinking, okay, cool. I can't hear it.
No problem. Do you want to go buy some or what? I'm sorry. Just let me know. Okay.
I think I need big knives, too.
Just borrow whatever you need. I wrote back to Mr. McCormick and I said, Dear Mr. McCormick, what matters most to me is that Ben forgive himself. That is a heavy, heavy burden to carry for a young man with 2 strikes against him already. Basically, what I'm saying is Ben needs a lot of attaboys. Get him to do things for other people. Perhaps take him to a retirement home and have him just sit and talk to some of the patients. Thanks again for taking our call, and I wish you all the best. Okay, that's how serious this got with this kid, all right? It got to the point of unbelievable, all right? So what I'm telling you the truth. I've been through, not trolling, but through some people that are absolutely off the wall, stone cold fuck nuts. In my experience, and other experiencers have experienced this, that's a lot of experiences in one sentence, have said that if you come across somebody that is absolutely 100% mental issues, like it can be all those words. Like where I'm from, we just call them crazy, but y'all call them borderline, bipolar, schizophrenia, and whatever else they call it. Now, my grandfather would say, we just call them fucking crazy, okay? Now they come up with all these stupid little names. And if you again, I'm going to repeat this, if you come across to these people as threatening to them in any way, they respond with exaggerated anger. Like, well, what the fuck? What are you doing? What do you mean? What do you do? You're a liar. You're crazy. You're this. You're that. And they just, they go crazy. And that is exactly what happened. My daughter's here borrowing some stuff. Did you get what you need, Sissy? Sissy? I think she's still in there getting stuff. And if you, like I said again, if you wrong them, if they feel like they've been wronged, they come out like a spider monkey at you. And on the internet, that usually means posting, lengthy comments, or on a podcast, it's even worse because you get to hear them verbally. Well, I happen to know a little secret about my most recent spider monkey that's come at me like a mad spider monkey that's like, well, she's doing this and she's doing that. And that would be Joe Seeker. Now, I'm sorry. I am very sorry because I know a lot of people, because of me, y'all don't realize, before I brought Joe into my podcast, he was nothing. He was nobody. In fact, 3 major players on my show, and I'm not going to name who it is, warned me not to get involved with him. They said, don't do it, Debbie. Don't do it, Debbie. Don't you dare do it. Don't you get involved with him because he's not all there. He's not all there. And the thing about these people is they can appear normal because if you're nice to them, they're very funny and they can appear very normal. But when you cross them, it's God help you. And I've done it now. He's the 3rd one that I've encountered that is absolutely mentally unstable and crazy. And it's if it looks like a skunk and it smells like a skunk, it's a skunk. Okay. Now he can say anything he wants. He can go and he's very clever in the way he comes back. He comes back in very evil, mean ways. I come to you with nothing but the truth. That's all I'm telling you. This isn't my opinion. Okay. This is what is called the truth. Now, I don't make up shit about people. I don't lie about people. And I damn sure am not going to sit there and pull up a bunch of shit from the past. It's not what I'm going to do, especially about him. I'm not going to do that with a lot of different people, but you're just going to trust me when I tell you I've got every bit of evidence you want to hear. Hold on. What? All right, hold on. Guys, hold on just 1 second. I need to go out there and help my daughter with something. Family first. I'll be right back. Don't anybody leave because I know every one of your seat numbers and I can kill you with one stroke with a brush. Don't move. I'll be right back. I'm joking, of course.
Got those shiny little chains around your heart. You got to have your independence, but you don't know just where to start. Desperation in the singles bars, and all the jerk-offs in the fancy cars. You can't believe your reviews. Oh no, you can't do that once you started wearing those shoes. Looking at you, leaning on you, tell you anything you wanna hear. They give you tablets of love. They're waiting for you, got to score you, hand you with the shovel and so sincere. Ooh, they got the kid glove. You just want someone to talk to. They just wanna get their hands on you. You get whatever you choose. Oh no, you can't do that once you started wearing those shoes. Oh no, you can't do that once you started wearing those shoes.
I'm back. Sorry, I just sat down. She's in there talking with Stephen right now, so she hasn't left yet. But the dangers of crossing the mentally ill, that's what I'm talking about, to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm eating something. I'm always eating on the air. Okay. Deranged and dangerous when the emotionally disturbed resort to violence. I mean, this is an absolute pattern. And you don't know that you're dealing with somebody crazy until you make them mad. And when you make them mad, like I said, it's going to be a nuclear war from them until you either, whatever you do, you just, because all mentally ill people are victims in their own right. A severe psychiatric condition must be a terrible burden to bear. And without being treated for it, that's even worse. And I don't know how I get, well, I know how when I was on Blog Talk Radio, it was, bring me, you're tired, you're whatever. There was no filter there. There was no call screener there. And so I took every call that came in line. And some of these people...
Can you turn up his color for your show? Or whatever you're doing?
Yeah. Are you done?
Fuck, I smoked that last cigarette, didn't I?
Hang on, let me play another song. I'll be right back. Again. Don't anybody leave. Again. Hold on.
I got every. Ooh! God, fucking Hank. I think I got everything that I need.
Hold on, I'm waiting for the stupid song to load. Okay, there's the song. I'll be right back. I'm going to talk to Heather.
Came in from a rainy Thursday on the avenue. Thought I heard you talking softly. I turned on the lights, the TV, and the radio. Still I can't escape the ghost of you. What has happened to it all? Crazy summer thing. Where is the light that I recognize? But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, I will learn to survive. Passion or coincidence once prompted you to stay. Pride will tear us both apart. Well, now pride's gone out the window, crossed the rooftops, run away. Left me in the vacuum of my heart. What is happening to me? Crazy, some say. Where is my friend when I need you most? But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, I will learn to survive. Papers in the roadside tell of suffering and grief. Fear today, forgot tomorrow. Ooh, here beside the news of holy war and holy me. Ours is just a little sorrow talk. And I don't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the
Okay, how long have I had dead air? I don't even know, because I went to help my daughter out to the car with the things that she got. And who gets out but Hank, Fufu, and Gunner out in the front. Now, Fufu and Gunner are fine, but Hank ran off. So I chased Hank down, and now he's in Heather's car. So I'm sure she's going to be coming back in the house to get him out of the car. So I'm sorry if I had dead air too bad. I couldn't come back in here. And I'm probably not supposed to be back in here yet because I've got to go get Hank out of her car. So I'm going to have to play one more song, guys. I'm sorry, but it's family first. I can't put her second. That's just not the way you do business. Let me try something quick. Something shorter. This is only 2 minutes and 40 seconds. All right? Give me 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to run.
Can you hear them? They talk about us, telling lies. Well, that was the price. Can you see them? See right through them. They have the shield, no secrets to reveal. Doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play. All inside see you. There's a weapon that we must use in our defense. Silence when you look at them and run through them. That's when they'll disappear. That's when we'll be free. Doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play. All inside see you. Pay no mind to what they say. Doesn't matter anyway. All inside see you.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm back. I think I'm back to stay now. Basically, all I'm trying to say to you guys is what these people do is a pattern that I've seen. Number one, they come into your life for however long. It can be months. You get signals, you get red flags, which I did have red flags about Joe. Number one, I had people warn me, don't do it. Don't do it. 2 people. So I ignored the red flags. I ignored the warning signs. I ignored what people told me not to do. They said, don't do it. Don't get in a relationship with him, Debbie. You're going to regret it. And I did. And then number 3, nobody warned me about Bathtub Girl, though. I don't know. Nobody really warned me about Dr. Herpington, but they did warn me about Joe. They said, don't do it. Been there, done that. And you will regret it. Sooner or later, you will regret it. And, sorry, I had something on my hand. I've got to get it off there. What is that? Okay. So, you get warning signs. I have warning signs about Bathtub Girl. She would come on the show and do all these really weird things, and the biggest thing that she did was she was lying about her real life. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, another thing that these people do, and this is very, very common, is they will go out and they will find the people that you know, and through me, it's podcasting, and they will go to those people, and they will go to them, and they will try to get them away from you in one way or the other. Now, what's going on behind my back right now that's not going on behind my back, because I'm being made very much aware of it, is how hard they are pressing some people on my show to get away from me. Who does that? Who goes to people and says, you need to get away from that person? I mean, that's really, if you think about it, that's really messed up behavior. To go out because you've got a problem, because you've got a mental disorder, and you can't handle what you perceive as rejection. And so therefore you just start clawing your face because you're so angry at this person because you've never learned how to control your emotions because of your mental disorder. And you get so upset about this person that you actually start going to people. Dr. Herpington went to my neighbors. Bathtub Girl tried to have me killed. I'm not joking. A guy named Russell will come on here and tell you he took me to the police department to make the report. I was like, what? Yeah, she tried to hire him to kill me. No, she couldn't hire him, but she was just going to get him to do it. But anyway, Herpington went nuts. And now I'm seeing the same exact thing with Joe. He's gone off the chain. For the last few shows, and I see, here's another thing that they do. I made a list earlier. Bathtub Girl, it says, was banned 6 times off of Blog Talk Radio. She made 364 complaints to me to Spreaker. Trying to get me off Spreaker. It's really sad when these people get upset because they just go crazy. They don't know what to do, so they're just like I said, they're like spider monkeys coming at you. And another thing that they do is it's called deflection. They take what they do to you. No, excuse me. Yeah, they do to you what they say you're doing to them, but you're not doing that to them. What they do is they do to you what they claim you're doing to them. That's right. And Bathtub Girl was notorious for that. Herpington was just crazy. But I'm starting to see this pattern with Joe. Because Joe will say some of the most rotten things about me you've ever heard in your life. I mean, truly rotten things. And then he'll say, why don't you go and podcast about me again for another 5 hours? You all know that listen to my show, know that we haven't been talking about Joe Seeker. Now, granted, I've been on the air now for, let me check, about 64 minutes. And out of that, we played 5 songs that were basically, 455, 443. We're just going to go ahead and say, for 25 of those minutes, I've been doing something else, playing music. So for 35 minutes, I've been talking about them, okay? Him. But he will say that for 5 hours, I talked about him for 5 hours. Because that's what he does, all right? Not only that, but he threatens people's lives, and he threatens to drive them into suicide, as heard on his show again, to repeat it 24 hours ago.
Kurt, you keep running your mouth, right? You keep running your mouth, Kurt, and the grieving period for your father will be over, right? So if you think you're funny, Kurt, you keep throwing Debbie snowballs, right? You keep it up. You keep it up. And I can guarantee you, Kurt, you'll regret the day. You'll regret it. The day you thought that you could outsmart me in a mind game. Because between the two of us, I'm not the one who's been online for fucking 6 months saying the full name of every family member. Right? So, I'll tell you what I do to bugs. I drive them into the mud.
You need to hold that.
Sorry, it went to the next thing in line. Sorry. And, I mean, it sounds like a death threat to me. I mean, he didn't say I'm going to kill you, but he said, you know what I do to bugs? I drive them into the ground. Which that's exactly what he did to Kevin Kierstead. So I'm starting to see the same pattern. Now, his most recent shows, my most recent shows have been, let's take a look and see, just for the hell of it. Me on the Shift Happens radio show live. The Affordable Care Act is a joke with Dr. B, and it's a prize call from Curtis. Racism Goes Both Ways with Mr. Midnight Movie, Dr. B, Sonny, Steve Rush, and featuring Wild Goose. New info has cropped up on the JFK assassination. And then a couple of them were just called the Debbie Daily Show because I didn't know who was going to be on there. It was JP and Steve were on Friday night, and I think, what is today? Today's Sunday. Yeah, I didn't do anything last night. Did I? No, I don't think I did. And so there you go, right? Now let's go and check his last few episodes. The Truth Hurts. The Vicodin Vixen. Granny Got Gas. Debbie Daily Deeds of Greatness. And then that goes on forever. Then he did 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 hours of singing a song about Debbie lies or something like that, and it's no surprise. I don't know what it was. I don't remember the name of it. Then he did, let me see how many, he did 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. He did 24 straight hours of playing something that had to do with that Rachel chick, which we're going to get to her in a minute. Then he did Granny Cuckoo 1 and Granny Cuckoo 2. Then he did She Couldn't Last One Show, She's Weak, The Truth Is Out There. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. I mean, I could keep going and going and going. Put Up or Shut Up. I've Gathered the Proof. Now Here's the Truth. It just goes on forever, okay? But I'm the one that does the shows about him, right? So just to make sure that you don't doubt me, let's just take a little step through some of the recent shows I've done. Here we go with just randomly Thursday night show. Oh, like that, because some things I can't find, some things I don't know off the top of my head, and so I just do this on the fly. I just turn on the mic and go with it. What's going on? I mean, it is unfathomable the way they kill these horses. It is so sad. And I know people don't want to hear that. Well, you should hear it. There you go. Am I talking about Joe? No, I'll keep skipping around. Here we go again with Thursday night's episode. You should hear it.
Gary Sandusky, the man at the...
No.
These allegations are...
Just a liar. She fudges her numbers. She lies about her numbers all the time. She doesn't have that many listeners. If you people would spend more time working and podcasting about things like this and get off of me for 5 minutes, maybe we can make a difference in this world. But you won't. You spend all your podcasting money. I haven't spent a penny on podcasting since the year 2012. I was picked up by iHeartRadio and grandfathered in, so kiss my ass, every one of you. And I've offered every one of you a free account. Ta-da! So there you go. That probably goes on for 6 minutes out of 2 hours and 16 minutes. We'll go ahead and say 16 minutes, which I know it didn't. But I will podcast about him for 5 straight hours, is what he'll tell you. And he'll say, oh, I heard Debbie was talking about me again. Now, granted, I'm kicking myself in the face here by talking about somebody with a mental disorder, because he's going to double down. And that's fine. What you say doesn't bother me, because I know the game. I've been there before. I know what's going on. But and actually, even saying this is probably going to piss him off even more, because they sort of hold people hostage, like, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off or I'll do something. Well, when he first came at Kevin in 2015, when some people came out with Kevin's docs and some personal information, he went nuts with it. He went nuts. That's because now you can see the pattern. Can you imagine if he went this nuts about me, what he did with Kevin? I mean, he went crazy. If he gets his hands on what he thinks is something that's really bad, look at what he did to Curtis. I mean, he ran Curtis 3 ways until, and he thinks that makes him, quote unquote, a badass. No, that doesn't make you a badass. That makes you batshit crazy. Because normal people don't act like that. They don't go crazy like that. They don't go insanely mad and chimp out and freak out and scream at people and hang up on people and run over there and do slam shows on them and blah, 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 blah. People don't do that. People that are unstable do that. And that's what you've done, Joe. You've come on my show and attacked almost everybody on the roster, including me. Viciously attacked people on my show. So I'm here to say to you that it's not me, it's you. And for all the people that are running around Spreaker and don't think I haven't found out, they're even going to people that they see me listen to on the main board where it says Debbie Daily listen to blank. They're going on their shows. This one poor guy that I know named Mike, they've even sent her in on it. Rachel's in on it. She's calling into his show and saying all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I didn't listen to it because I didn't have time. But as you can see, I have my own life going on over here. And it's just, I don't know what to do. You know, it's just, what do you do? I'm so pissed off about stuff in the world. And what mostly pisses me off. Oh, here we go. Here's a little example of what I'm talking about. This happened in February. Now,
I didn't eat dinner before I started my show, and so I'm eating dinner.
I bring
What do you eat?
a guy on named Rusty. He was a friend of mine. I met him in IRC, and I'd known him for a while, and I thought he wanted to come on my show. I said, great. He was signed up to go into special ops training in the Army. He's 6'5", 24 years old, built like a brick shithouse, and it just made Joe Seeker go nuts. Nuts. So let's listen to this. Let me show what I'm talking about.
I'm eating. What did I do with my webcam? I'm eating Mexican food that's from a fast food restaurant.
God! All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead. Continue with your call. I'll not say another word.
Yeah, okay, now talk for 10 minutes about how you're not going to talk.
Okay, I will not say another word.
I'm the sexual shit. Fucking retard.
But you're not trolling, right, Kurt?
Nah.
No, I know. You're not a troll at all. You're not a troll at all. None of us are trolls. I'm the only troll here. I'm the only troll on Spreaker.
You are the biggest troll of all.
I'm not the biggest. I'm just one of the best.
You're a bully.
Yeah, I'm not fucking.
Well, how am I a bully? How am I a bully? Because you talk about things you don't understand?
Fucking me up.
I'm sorry, you're not a bully. Go ahead.
Cut him off!
Oh, that Australian guy just really... What are you drinking, bro, in Australia?
I'm not totally
Vodka? Vodka or whiskey?
Oh, please talk. I'm so hurt. Oh my god, I'm fucking kangaroos. Stupid. Go fuck yourself. Your IQ is under 80. You're not relevant to this call. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, Australian bro. My family come from there. Be nice.
Fucking moron off. Really.
He's gone.
Now, this is a member of Joe's little group.
Be nice.
Kurt, you got to stop telling everybody to be nice over and over and over and mumbling.
Okay.
Be nice, be nice.
I'm laying down. Let me sit up and show you this video. I'll put it in the chat room. Okay, hold on. Let me get up. What?
You offering me more? Yours, baby?
No, I'm not, baby. You don't even sound right when you say that.
Now, Mr. fucking Internet Confidence.
No, but
you're calling me Mr. Internet Confidence, but every show that you're on with me, you do nothing but talk shit and then get really mad and call me incompetent when every time I respond to you, dude. Get the fuck over yourself.
This is Rusty talking to Joe. And Rusty came in being real nice. How are you doing? Nice to meet everybody. And Joe went nuts.
Oh. 100,000 attacks. It was what you would get. 1 out of every 10,000 Muslim males would be 100,000 attacks.
Angry
One
Buns.
out of every 10,000 Muslim males would be 100,000 attacks.
One fucking point. Okay? South Park did a fucking episode on the heart.
Anyway.
No fucking body protested that.
You seem to forget that they weren't even allowed to show the image of Allah. Hello.
Yes, they were. You're
really?
Fucking...
Pull it up for me, because every time I watch it, no matter where I pull it up at, this has been seasoned because Comedy Central would not let us do it.
Then stop talking, man.
Guys away from controversy, but last night its creators appeared to bow the threats of violence from a U.S. Muslim group by censoring a typically irreverent episode about religious leaders, including Muhammad.
I can listen through them to make sure. I'm not 100% sure what show.
Because he knows he's full of shit.
Oh, I'm not full of shit. I'm not.
He's full of shit.
You were on there and you were Mr. Reg Force. It's for losers. Only cocks to go in the Reg Force.
No, I was calling you a cuck because you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, I'm calling you a fucking moron because you're a moron.
Come on.
I'm calling you, Rusty.
All right, Joe, wait for this audio, please. I'm waiting.
Come on. I served for 4 fucking years. And
okay, anyway. So there's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Bat shit like a spider monkey. on people, just freaking out on them. And I felt sorry for Rusty, but we did talk after the show, which I do a lot of times with people that have been on the air with me. I talked to a Jewish producer the other night for a while, and I talked to, well, just a lot of people. I talked to Sonny a lot after the show, but it's like, you have to know what I'm talking about here. And people that are not liking me for whatever reason, which would be everybody from Monster Castle Paranormal, which is Adam, Jeff the Gray, Darren, Willie, that group, they unknowingly will follow these people, and they will start listening and get sort of Svengali'd by what they're saying and by what they're doing. And so they'll start with their little own jabs, but they have no idea what they're talking about. I am not who they say I am. Right, here we go. What is this? This says another chimp out from Joe on my show.
Would you not be? How many people that went against her ended up with a gunshot in the back of the head, Sonny? I mean, Joe?
No.
How many? How many? No, don't. How many?
I'm trying to answer you, Debbie. I'm trying to. You always get mad when you.
How many, Joe? How many?
Order.
Answer
Zero,
me.
Debbie. Zero.
Bullshit.
Zero.
Bullshit.
0 charges and 0 convictions.
I didn't say
Zero.
charges and convictions. I said how many people that went up against her
comparison,
ended
all
up
right.
with a gunshot in the back of the
How
head.
many, Debbie? How many?
You want a list?
No, just give me a number. Don't start reading things. Just give me a number.
I'm not going to read fucking shit. I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm saying that it was the guy that was in the deep. Okay, you going to listen?
No, is it 10 people or?
Are you going to listen? I can
Just
tell
give me
you
a number.
three I know of for a fact.
Okay, 3. So three murders by the Clintons. How many people have the United States government killed?
Well, see, you're getting off topic.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm not. I'm saying in comparison
How
to
many
power,
have the United States?
ability to
Okay,
kill.
stop. We're talking about her. We're not talking about the United States government.
But
You're
United
being
States
ridiculous.
government
You're
would
being
prosecute
ridiculous. You're being
No,
ridiculous.
I'm saying that you're saying.
You're being ridiculous, Joe. You're talking about the United States government who has even fried people that were innocent in prison. Don't be silly. I'm talking about this crazy fucking mean bitch. Just because you love this fucking cunt doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, just because you hate her doesn't mean she's guilty.
I hate her fucking guts, and I think she's scum.
You're guilty.
Yeah, I'm not.
Can you hear the argument that I'm getting out of him? It's like talking to, I guess now I see the pattern, somebody with mental disorders, because you can't reason with them. I was talking about how horrible. I'll show you the beginning of that if you want to hear how it started. Let me see if this is where it started. Let's try this.
To the Constitution and the federal rules of evidence. Are you aware that judges can't be witnesses? Are you familiar with that, Judge?
I don't consider myself a witness.
Oh, really? You just give you give a hard opinion like that? You kidding me, Sonny? If I were in trouble with the IRS criminally, and I destroyed record after record after record, and when they said I had those records, but they got destroyed, that's it's called exfoliation of evidence, which gives the jury in federal court the right to assume that would show that would show me in a negative light. That's how the rules of evidence say that. Okay?
Right.
If I say I had that evidence, Sir Steve, Judge Steve, but I lost it, that means that Joe Seeker, as the head of the jury, has got the right to assume that it would show me in a negative light, okay? And the head of the IRS didn't understand what that was. I mean, think about it. If
pretty sad.
If anybody would destroy evidence, it would be somebody in trouble with the IRS, right?
Right.
And listen.
With it, okay? Spoliation of evidence is when a party fails to preserve. There's a negative inference that the jury can draw from their failure to preserve the evidence. You with me? If you destroy documents, the jury can infer that those documents weren't going to be good for you. If you fail to keep documents, the jury can infer that those documents were not going to be good for you. You've heard the phrase spoliation of evidence, haven't you?
I can't recall ever hearing it.
It's true in administrative hearings.
The head of the Internal Revenue Service. I can't recall that I've ever heard of that. So this is how it all starts.
Hearings, civil hearings, criminal hearings.
I practiced law once 45 years ago, gave it up for Lent one year, never went back.
The point I'm trying to make is that the guy that's up in the bench has all the power.
You're damn
Just
right.
so
It doesn't matter. If you knew the whole case, I mean, I studied this entire case, what happened with these assholes. He was covering up for Lerner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you remember when Lois Lerner went in front of the Senate committee?
Now pay attention to the argument that I get, all right? Just pay real close attention.
She lied so much her nose started growing.
Based in criminal wrongdoing. You're just
all government employees and anybody that works for the government anywhere, elected or as an employee, you have to sign what's called a confidentiality agreement. And a lot of times, when these guys are up on the stand and they're being questioned, right? They're being questioned by guys that know they're asking questions that guy can't answer because of the confidentiality agreement.
No.
And that happens
you're
across
talking
the board.
no. You're talking about in juries, like if it was somebody in trouble. These guys are paid for these guys to answer to. They have to answer every fucking. This is the Overwatch.
You can't answer if you can't.
Let me explain to you, Joe, since you never shut up when you're on my show, what the Congress is there for. The Congress is basically an oversight committee. They're the watchers. They watch our elected officials to make sure they're doing what's right. So if you don't think that they have to answer to the Congress honestly, you need to retake some American history or some political science.
Answer anything publicly that breaks the confidentiality agreement. Even if you're asking in a court of law, it has to be a closed courtroom. So anything that he asks about the confidentiality agreement that breaks it in front of a camera, it can't be done.
Well, this isn't about This isn't about the confidentiality, love. It's not. I'm trusting you to look into this before you talk.
I am watching, and I'm watching a guy that is in a seat of power.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Verbally abusing a guy that has no recourse.
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. And he needs to be abused because he's an absolute criminal crap piece of shit. And if you knew what I knew about this case, I sat and watched this for hours one day over here about Lerner. This is who Loretta Lynch. He's lying. He's covering up what happened with the IRS. And it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Just watch what he says to him. Listen for the next few minutes if you want to. Oh, shit.
That you did not engage in any with respect to the email.
I haven't seen any wrongdoing with regard to the production of Lois Lerner email.
But you are not saying there was no criminal wrongdoing with respect to the targeting of conservative groups. I want to be very clear. You're not saying that.
See, Lois Lerner sent out some emails that said target all conservative groups. That was proven. Okay, that was proven. She got in front of them and she said, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. That's all she would say. And he is livid. They are livid that they targeted conservative groups right before the election. And this is what he's grilling him on. And he's like going, I saw nothing wrong with that.
I've made no judgments.
So you disagree with the president when he says there's not a smidgen of corruption?
There are people who have been making judgments both sides about whether they're...
You know what? I'm not one of those. I'm just simply saying we will never know because you didn't keep the evidence. The evidence was spoliated. And whether it's negligent, whether it's intentional, whether it's reckless, we still don't have the evidence, Commissioner.
Well, you have the evidence that there is no emails from the White House. You have all of the Treasury emails. So the basic premise...
Just go with what you've got because we wiped it out.
That this was an argument...
See, the receiving person had the emails, but not the official email that was sent. And when Lerner went in front of them, she pled the fifth. Now you tell me. If she was guilty, she wouldn't plead the fifth. She'd go, no.
Yeah, she lawyered up. They told her,
I did not send those emails. Yes, she did.
Nothing she could have said could have helped her.
Or why would you go in there and put yourself subject to the one-sided barrage, right? Where no matter what you answer...
Okay, let me tell you what I'm talking about here. It says, the framers of the Constitution created the United States Senate to protect the rights of individual states and safeguard minority opinion in a system of government designed to give greater power to the national government. They modeled the Senate on governors' councils of the colonial era and on the state senates that had evolved since independence. The framers intended the Senate to be an independent body of responsible citizens who would share power with the President and the House of Representatives. James Madison, paraphrasing Edmund Randolph, explained in his notes that the Senate's role was, first, to protect the people against their rulers, and secondly, to protect the people against the transient impressions into which they themselves might be led. Okay? You have to realize what that means. The Senate is there to question our rulers, to question what, and no, there's no such thing as a confidentiality agreement. There is when you're in criminal trials, and it's very rarely. I mean, it's like people saying that there's a age limit to being a witness. No, you can put a 3-year-old on the stand if you want to, if the parents approve it and everybody says fine. You can get anybody's testimony. So first of all, know what you're talking about before. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. All right, let's continue.
That's the way our country works, Joe. This is the Senate Committee on.
Exactly, Debbie. It is. And
this isn't. You don't get an attorney with this.
She has the right to plead the fifth. That's the way the country works. Those are the rules of the game.
A conspiracy driven by the White House does not.
No, sir, you're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. That you're repeating.
He's answering, and he's not letting
our
him.
colleagues on the other side that we're obsessed with the White House. It was Jay Carney
Because
who
he has a narrative.
the myth that it was 2 rogue agents in Ohio. It wasn't any of us. Was that accurate? Was that first initial line of defense that this is just 2 rogue agents in Ohio? Was that accurate, Commissioner?
Not that I know of.
All right, so that.
Okay, I worked at the DA's office. I've also been around the criminal element, law, legal world for all my life. And one thing that we know in cross-examination is how you will say something like, so where were you on June 5th? Instead of saying at Burger King, they'll say, once upon a time in a world called, they'll take forever to answer. So what you do is you interrupt them and say, excuse me, can you just say what we're here for you to say? And that's all that Senator Gowdy is doing, because he knows that these people go and tell what they call they'll give a dissertation on their answer, and he just wants to get to the answer. Do you know what I'm saying? I guess, well, maybe, I don't know.
That wasn't accurate, and that came from the White House. Who said there's not a smidgen of corruption? Who said that, Commissioner?
My understanding is that was the President.
It was the President. So that's Jay Carney and the President both inserting themselves into the IRS scandal. And you want to blame us for bringing the White House into it?
I haven't blamed you at all.
You just did, Commissioner. You just did.
Well, it's a good argument. All I said was the White House has revealed there were no Lois Lerner emails. Treasury has given you all of their emails. So to the extent that the argument was that Lois Lerner was conspiring and emailing back and forth, thus far I haven't seen any.
Well, you can be engaged in a conspiracy that doesn't include the White House.
Gentlemen.
Good. Time's up. Right. Thank you, sir.
Well, I was wanting to let him go, but the guy beside me kept grabbing me.
And that is from Super Mexican Productions.
Telemundo
in Dallas. Yeah, he's a monster. He's meaner. And Jim Jordan is horrible. Do you like this guy, Sonny? Jim Jordan? He goes crazy. Anyway, he does.
I don't remember him.
Oh, he's mean as fuck.
Gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan.
Watch him.
Mr. Chairman, you just gave a long answer, Madam Secretary, to Ms. Sanchez about what you heard that night, what you're doing, but nowhere in there.
Oh, this is about Benghazi.
You didn't mention a video because there was never a video-inspired protest in Benghazi. There was in Cairo, but not in Benghazi. Victoria Nuland, your spokesperson at the State Department, hours
I've
after
seen
the
all
attack,
this.
said this.
He fried her over Benghazi.
Benghazi has been attacked by militants. In Cairo, police have removed demonstrators. Benghazi, you got weapons and explosions. Cairo, you got spray paint and rocks.
Now, the only thing I'm trying to show right here is when somebody with a mental illness feels attacked or beaten or they feel they're under some sort of threat, a perceived threat, okay? And I've showed you guys examples of how a normal debate can go on between people without somebody going batshit crazy on you, because that means that is a red flag that there's mental illness there. You see what I'm saying?
1 hour before the attack in Benghazi, Chris Stevens walks the diplomat to the front gate. The ambassador didn't report a
I'll
demonstration.
see if I can skip all this.
He didn't report terrorist violence.
But they're not through.
Well, they should have no problem charging her then.
For what?
Well, perjury.
Oh, well, she's immune, just like all the fucking people up there. But they're not through. They're not through. In fact, Trump recently said, "I'm not done. I'm not done with that shit." He's going to hire his own private prosecutor to prosecute her.
As the president.
Now, do you hear me laughing? Because I'm trying to make fun of the fact that we're arguing this. I know me, and I've been around me a long time.
He's going to hire his own prosecutor.
With this guy?
How can you hire your own prosecutor?
Hey, Joe, you're arguing with me about something I think is nuts, too. All I'm saying is the bitch lied, all right? That's the only goddamn thing I'm saying is she lied like a bitch.
And all I'm asking is how many times did she take the fifth in the Benghazi hearings?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
0.
Okay. Because she lies her ass off.
How many times did they trip her up?
I don't know, Joe. What are you trying to get to?
Trying to get to that for all this evidence they had against her, they couldn't pin anything on her.
Oh, really?
Well, no, they couldn't.
Would you pin something on that bitch if you were in a power like that? She'll have your fucking head blown off.
Oh. But then why is he so brave to sit in front of her and question her in that way?
Because he's not afraid of her.
Well, then why doesn't he have her charged?
Maybe he doesn't make that decision.
No, Rudy, everybody in government is scared of Hillary Clinton.
Joe, if I was sitting across from you, I'd go, "Meh." I'd stick my tongue out at you.
Well, I realize you would, but that still wouldn't, I just can't fathom the
You just love Hillary Clinton and hate Donald Trump. Nana boo boo. Yes, you do.
See, I'm trying to calm him down and realize we're just talking, Joe. Don't get all bajiggity on me. Don't go crazy on me and watch what happens. He's not taking any of my hints.
I
hate her motherfucking guts.
Exactly.
With
I just fucking can't stand
him. Now I'm being facetious at this point, but I can't get Joe to break the anger that he's in. He's involved in some crazy whacked out anger right now, and I can't bring him back.
I don't know. I don't work there, but she is a scumbag piece of shit. And if Sonny had a nerve, he'd stand up and tell you feel the same way.
I just don't understand why.
Wait.
You've said
I was getting me
times.
something.
Okay, well, he says you've said thousands of times you think this fucking bitch is scum.
I do think. I think that the Clintons are horrible people. That's my opinion.
And if you cross them, you're taking a risk of getting a gunshot in the back of the head.
I wouldn't cross them. That's for sure.
And it just goes from there. And he just ends up going nuts and freaking out and going and doing a show about me and going all this blah, going crazy. And we end up laughing on the show about all kinds of different stuff. Because you just can't get that nuts. I mean, and he gets that nuts. This one just says me, Joe, and Rusty and Steve. I wonder what happens on this one here. I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen. Let me see. I haven't listened to it. Have you ever seen the rain? Oh, I wasn't in a fucking nut house either. If I was, I'd tell you I was in a nut house. I was in a hotel.
What other place would you be calling Cancun?
Why would he? I mean, what do you think about that guy?
Because he's always talked about that kind of stuff. Like if you listen to the old Opie and Anthony podcasts, he goes on them, and he actually.
Well, I think that's what keeps government somewhat afraid of the citizens of every country.
Goose, keep it up. I'm joking, guy. No, he said he comes with a story. There's no doubt about it. He's got a background that is pretty colorful, you know.
I remember him telling me about the strip club that he was security in. Like,
have you ever seen I've been
where shooting someone is
more coherently, and
see, Joe, did you see that pit?
No.
That was the biggest pit bull I'd ever seen in my life. I'm sorry.
Talking to me like that, it was really weird because I felt like they were kind of being more nice to me than they were the other recruits.
He's talking about whenever I met him in the IRC chat, in the anonymous chat. I think that's what he's talking about here. This is the first time I believe Rusty came on my show. I think. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Roots. I'm not saying that because of my size. I think it's just because of my MOS. They were being, I guess, a bit different. But at the same time, like, I'm a lot older. Like, I'm not a lot older. I'm 4 years older than most of the other people there. I'm 22 now. And, like, a lot of the guys, they were, like, 17, 18-year-olds, and they were kind of being, they were being disrespectful until they got, people jumping down their throats. But, like, the Navy chief that was there, the main medical guy that was there, he served, like, 20-some years in the Army. They were actually really cool with me. They were sitting there talking to me about various crap. This Air Force guy came in, and I guess they were messing with him because he was a Hillary supporter.
Oh, no.
They look at me and they go, "Well, who do you support?" And I was like, "Trump, of course." And the Air Force guy goes, said something to me. He goes, "Well, what branch are you in?" And I was like, "I'm Army." And he asked me what my MOS is, and I told him 18X, which is Special Forces Recruit. And he goes, "Oh." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I have to eat dirt. I don't get to eat steak for dinner every night." So bad. And the other guys, they started laughing.
Is it as tough as what we see in the movies with Navy SEAL training? I mean, like they have them lock arms and they're in the cold water and all that crazy shit. What do you do with Special Forces training? What is so special about that?
I signed some paperwork saying that, like, when I do go through SEER and all that, they're allowed to, like, break bones and all that crap.
What?
Nice.
Are you serious? What sets somebody like you apart from the Rangers, like a Ranger or whatever? I mean, I don't. What is Special Forces?
The Rangers, as far as I'm aware, they're still a quote unquote special operations unit, but they're not like I think Green Berets Tier 1. Yeah, Green Berets are like Tier 1, same as like Navy SEALs, etc. So like we do a lot more of like behind enemy lines type crap. Where as far as I'm aware, like Rangers are.
I'm going to go forward, okay?
Just better foot soldiers. I'm not trying to down talk them or anything. Oh shit! Dude.
I shouldn't have said that out loud. I'm sorry, guy. I'm sorry. God damn! I don't believe I just said that. He's Rusty. He's. I don't know why he won't come on cam. But
why am I seeing your arm, Rusty? I mean, what the fuck is this?
Oh yeah, Guy Shea called in because I was calling him out in the chat room. Let me go forward. I think he gets really upset with him, or he's already hung up.
Now.
He said it was as blue as the sky. So the greener it gets, that's the more muddied up your lineage is.
Oh, it's an electric candle.
Yeah, it's really cool though. It smells.
$80 at Bed Bath and.
I know you don't give a fuck, but but I know I.
It says he was on there. I guess he must have hung up already or something. Then there's another one that he was on with. Here's another one.
Let me remember things I don't.
Just to take a little comedic break here for a second from all this stupid drama, have y'all ever actually read the lyrics to that song? I mean, do you actually realize what he's saying in that song? I forgot the name of the song. Anyway, I forgot the name of the song. It's I know it's by Creedence Clearwater Revival, but he sang in a way that was it wasn't bad. Was it Born on the Bayou? Born on the No, it was. I don't remember which one it was. I think. Let me see if it was Born on the Bayou is what it might have been. I'm not sure. Let's see if this is it. No. Let me see. Which song was I playing? Hold on. Let's check it out.
Barefoot girl dancing in the moonlight. I can hear the bullfrog calling me. Wanna hit my rope, still hanging to the tree.
Change it. I can't remember the this song. Does anybody? Let me go by my chat room. Does anybody know what song that is by Creedence Clearwater Revival? Does anybody remember that song? No. Okay, never mind. All right. It was what was that song that I was playing on my show? Can't remember. Go ahead.
Big credits to Vic, because I don't know of too many husbands that could handle real
Something
man.
he knows I said,
but
and I have no idea what song that is for some reason. I'm drawing a complete blank. I am not going to stop until I figure out what that was. Oh, hold on. I don't have my Skype on, Mr. Midnight Movie. Hold on just a second. I have to turn on my Skype on my computer. Hold on. I don't remember the name of that song. It was... I don't know what it was. I can't remember what that song was. Hold on. My Skype's opening. It'll take it a minute to open. I have no idea what song that was. But the word, was it Born on a Bite? No, I don't know what it was. Damn it. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't know the name of that song. I could sit and listen, but you can't understand the lyrics, so you don't know what the song is. Anyway, I don't know. I can't recall what song that is. Let me see what's going on Skype. Mr. Midnight Movie called. Where are you at, Mr. Midnight Movie? Oh, I'm not online. Hold on just a second. Let me go online. Go in ninja mode, and now I'm in ninja mode. All right. Mr. Midnight Movie just called. Left a voicemail to Debbie Schnoo. Let's see what he has to say, the old boy.
Debbie Schnoo. All right, don't answer. You don't have to. Boo-hoo. 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 I just got off of work.
Who works on Sunday, on July 4th weekend? I ask you. Nobody but my boyfriend and my future husband, Mr. Midnight Movie. I am, of course, Mrs. Midnight Movie, as you all know. Pick up the phone, mullet. I want you to tell the people what you know about pissing. Hi.
Is this the Schnoo and Fluvy show?
Yeah, it's Floobies and Schnoo.
Floobies and Schnoo. How are you? I hear you you're talking about how this country sucks.
This country does suck. Everything sucks about it. But I want to ask you a question. You are the one that told me one time that you cannot piss off or make somebody with mental illness feel like they're threatened. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. What would you elaborate on what happens when you accidentally do that, when you accidentally make somebody feel threatened that has mental illness?
They will basically lose an arm so you lose a finger. They're very vengeful. And they will make it sometimes they will zero in on you for absolute and total annihilation. And no matter what happens, that's their goal.
Yeah, exactly. That puts it perfect.
And who did you piss off?
Joe Seeker.
Oh, shit.
And I didn't know that he was one with mental illness.
Oh, I could... my Midnight Movie sense was tingling on that guy.
Yeah, you even said a couple of times that you thought, yeah. Well, because he's showing all the same symptoms of Bathtub Girl and Dr. Herpington.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone nuts.
Yeah, he'll want to get revenge on you, that's for damn sure.
And
I mean, he seems like he can be pretty nasty.
But I don't get that, because if somebody, I guess if they feel threatened, I mean, it's weird the way they do. They go crazy.
Well, if he feels slighted, his ego's, we all have ego, and we all get it. We all get it when we get it hurt for whatever reason, and we feel wronged for whatever reason. We're going to attack, and that's just what he's going to do.
But it's usually contrived.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, because anytime you even answer back or retaliate back, you're going to get hit even harder. Sometimes the best thing you can do is ignore the person. Because retaliation.
I know. I have to ignore it. It's just.
Debbie, it's
what?
It's a certain kind of monster that every time you hit it, it makes it stronger and emboldens it. If you ignore it and don't mention their name, I mean, it may not go away, but after a while.
Do you remember how many months and months and months we ignored Bathtub Girl and she never went away?
She went away, though, finally. I mean, she finally...
The only reason she went away was when I attacked her back. And I started exposing her for what she was. Then she cowered down and went away. I don't think you can categorize everybody in a certain way, but I do see what you're saying, though, that some of these whack jobs, and if they get angry at you, you just have to walk away. And that's the hardest thing for me to get. I hate that I hate that about me. I hate that about me.
It's a natural instinct to want to attack back and hit the person back.
You're so cute. Are you still at work?
No, I'm not.
Who's talking in the background?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You live alone. You better know.
Yeah, I know who's talking in the background. No, but it's...
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Suicide Squad, the original Suicide Squad. Do you think...
I didn't see it.
Okay. Rats. Do you think it is not suitable for children under the age of 8?
You know what? I'll tell you something. When I was 8 and 9 years old, I was seeing stuff that probably wouldn't be considered suitable. So, you know what I mean? All children are different on what they're able to take and what they're able not to take. I mean, there is a... There are a lot of there are a lot of universal don'ts,
guidelines that they go by or something, or
guidelines. But you know what I mean? All children are different, and I don't think saying it. I mean, there is, I guess, protecting their innocence or whatnot. But to be honest with you, I grew up watching films that were violent and gory, at least by the age of 9.
Hold on just 1 second. It's my daughter. Hello? Hello?
Hey, it's ready.
It is?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Angel.
When are you going to be here?
I don't know. I'm still on my radio show.
Huh?
I'll get off my radio show and come over there.
Like when? So I know.
20 minutes?
Okay.
All right, bye. She wants me to come over and have dinner with her.
Have din.
Yeah, but I want to continue what we're doing. Are you going to be home for a while, or can we start this back up in a short while? Because I don't, family first, right? I mean, I
hear you, family. I mean, and that's always a good idea. Yeah, we can start that up for a while, and it's the right thing to do,
I have so many other movie questions to ask you that I've got written down that I was making notes the other day when I was over at the attorney's office, bored out of my mind, answering the phones, and the phones weren't ringing, so I was sitting there thinking of questions to ask you, and I have them all written down. And there's a reason why I want to talk to you about the PG rating and the where they get that from, how do they do that, who comes up with that, how do they come up with that, and stuff like that.
Well, the rating system happened in 1967. For a long time, they had the film, they had the Code, and they had two groups. They had the Code and they had the Legion of Decency before the rating system, and they were there to keep things basically that didn't offend basically America's Judeo-Christian values, and that began to change in 1967. And PG is the most interesting of all of the rating system, because they had PG, R, X, and I think it was GP before it was PG, and then it was PG, and then it was PG-13. They added an extra one, so we can get on to that. We can get on to the rating system.
Yes, I want to talk about that because there's a reason why.
Okay.
You know I have a reason for everything I do.
I know you do. But like I said, you know, all children are different, and all children can tolerate. Some children can tolerate scary movies. Other kids are scared under the bed. Some adults are scared under the bed. All human beings are different, so one size does not fit all, Debbie. Anyway, I'll talk to you later because you got to get going, huh?
Yeah, I got to go over there. Well, I don't have to, but I want to go over there and eat dinner with them because she makes an amazing. She made beef Wellington with.
And stay away from dessert.
Oh, watch me. I'm doing good. All right, bye. I'll see you in a little while. Mr. Midnight Fluvies, as I call him, the Fluv Pops. Bad Moon Rising. Let's see if I can find that. The thing that he said, the way he says the words are just, you can't understand a single thing he says practically in Bad Moon Rising. Yeah, he's right. He's right, and I hate that I did that. I was mad about something else. I found out about the JFK assassination. Where's Bad Moon? I don't see it on here. Oh, there it is. Okay, the lyrics are, I see the bad moon rising. No, that's not it. I see the bad moon rising. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. I got to figure out what it is. Is it Green River? It's Green River. That's it. It's called Green River. He says, well, take me back down where cool waters flow. Let me remember the things I love. Stopping at the log where the catfish bite, walking along the river road at night, barefoot girls dancing in the moonlight. I can hear the bulldog calling me, wonder if my rope's still hanging to the tree, love to kick my feet way down the shallow water, shoo fly, dragonfly, get back to your mother, pick up a flat rock, skip it across Green River. Up at Cody's camp, I spent my days with flat car riders and cross-tie walkers. Old Cody Jr. took me over, said you're going to find the world is smoldering, and if you get lost, come home to the Green River. Now, I defy any of you to hear any of that in this song as we go off the air. And we'll be back on in about, I don't know, give me an hour, maybe longer than that. I don't know. We'll see. Just watch your Twitter feed, I guess, and we'll be back. Now, remember the lyrics I told you. Listen to how he sings it. He does it on purpose.
Stopping at
be back in a little while. I'm going to go have dinner with my daughter and stuff like that. And I will see you guys later on, right? All right.